Honey, Kilauea. Hey, hello everybody. Just wanted to try out this live video business. I don't know if it's working. How do you tell if you're doing live? Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time of your time. So it's Kanzee at Kanzee's little bunker. Show you the tools I'm using. I'm going to do a Karving storytelling session with you. There's a thumb. It's just a piece of leather I cut off of one of my gloves. It's for push cuts. This is a cut resistant glove. I like to wear these. I put some athletic tape here for extra padding so I don't get too bad of a blister there. Yeah, okay. This is basswood. Just a small chunk. This is a piece I did last night. Mokons. A little mokons. Hope you can see that. These are called flexcut. I made my own sheath out of duct tape and cardboard. That's a quick fix. I'll make some birch bark ones down the road. And this is a detail knife. And this is a stropping. I don't use a stone on these anymore because I don't chip them. So what I do is I take my knife and I find the angle and I slowly just slide it away from me like that, real slow, and that puts a real razor sharp edge on there, just like that. And just go like that, flip it over and do the other side of the blade. And it gets so sharp I can actually take the hair right off of my legs. For you ladies out there, that is. Okay. So tonight we're going to be making one of these guys. Little mokons. Alrighty. I'm going to use the same wood, but I'm going to move it down here. And it's going to be upside down. So while I'm doing that, I want to talk about the birch bark while I'm carving. Okay, so let's get into the story. First, I'm going to make some stop cuts here, or V cuts. It's hard to talk because I just got a tooth operation done. Got my teeth removed, but that's a story for another day. So I'm making a V cut here. I hope you can see that. I have to look at the camera all the time. And what I'm doing is I'm just following the teachings of an Ontario carver that I really respect. His name is Doug Linker. And this is what he does. You know, he does quite well with his carvings. And I like the way he teaches. He's very gentle and he's very respectful. And he's quite clear with his way of being. So let's get on with the story. What should we talk about? Traditional storytelling. A long time ago, this is one of my favorite stories I was told, and I like to share it with you guys. A long time ago, there was this beautiful mokwakwe, this bear, female bear, and she was raised really proper, She was raised with love and respect and, you know, taking care of herself, respecting herself, her environment. And what happened was, see, all I'm doing is I'm going around with my cuts like that. This part's going to be the head of the bear. Mukwa dip, or stigwan. And, you know, like all females, I think, they want to be connected, you know, to their counterparts, a mate. So, Mukwakwe, Mama Kwe, we'll call her, or Mukwakwe, that's what she did. She went looking for a partner. And the parents let her roam around and check out what's out there, you know, for a bear partner. Because they knew that they couldn't be with her forever, the parents. So, there she is. She's walking around through the bush, hiking around. And she saw a bunch of bears, but none of them really clicked with her, you know? There's this kind of weird connection going on. This chemistry thing. She never had that. But then, at this time of the year, there's a special time of the year that the bears all gather in one spot. And it's during salmon run. Oh yeah, those big, fat, juicy salmon are finishing up their life cycle, eh? And all the bears go there to celebrate and have their big ceremony, gathering ceremony. So, as it turns out, all the bears got together. And they're all fishing, and some of them are showing off their skills, you know. Some of these bears, you know. And they want mates too. And there she is, she's checking them all out, eh? She sees some nice bears and skinny bears and fat bears and real mean bears. Well, all kinds of bears there, eh? Different personalities, different gifts. But there's this one bear in particular that's just like, he's not the best looking. He's not the strongest of the bunch. He's not the youngest neither. But boy, oh boy, I'll tell you. There was something there. There was some kind of a chemistry or some kind of a spiritual connection or something. Who knows? But maybe it was destiny. But she wanted that bear for a mate. She wanted that mukwa. Mukwa nene. Well, there. She goes out in the water and she shows off her stuff, you know. Catches a couple of little fish, and then that bear notices her, eh? And says, hey, let me catch you a gigon. Yeah, get you gigon. I'll catch you a big one, he says, eh? And that's what he does, eh? And she's having so much fun because he's not perfect. He's not like perfectionist or micromanager or anything like that. He's just doing his best. And she appreciates that. Well, they started hanging out, these two bears. Oh, yeah. You know, first they were acquaintances. They got to meet each other. And then, as they hung out, they started to become companions. And that's where they started to get to know each other's pet peeves, and they got to know each other's, you know, likes and dislikes and things like that. You know what I'm talking about. And as time went on, they became friends. They started sharing time, sacred time with each other, just with each other. And they started pulling away from their family more and spending more time with each other and hanging out and being friends and showing each other's secrets and, you know, testing the water and all that stuff that's really cool about a relationship. Well, time went on. And, you know, there's a sacred point in that relationship you reach where love comes involved. And when that love is there, holy smokers, it's like magic time, eh? Get your mishki kid the bug in it. Well, there's this bear. Welcome, Stephanie. Welcome, R.W. Hoekstra, my buddy, out west. Well, the bears, what happened was their love, their very unique love, created babies. Not one, but two cubs. Nish mukons. Two baby cubs. Oh my goodness, it was magic for them, eh? It's my nibi shabo. Ginger lemon with honey. Excuse me. They had these two beautiful cubs. And they raised these cubs like they were the most precious in the whole world. The father had to learn to be a papa, and the mama had to learn to be a mama, and they still had to learn to be friends, you know, to each other. And they did their best, and they had the support of their parents. Eventually, the grandparents passed away, and it was just the two parents taking care of these two little cubs. Well, as it turns out, these two little cubs grew up learning about family traditions, learning about their place in creation. They learned about all kinds of ways to make relationships, good, healthy relationships with all the creation and the animals and everything. And I'm just having a look here to see where I'm at. Okay, so I'm doing the head, right? And we're going to do the belly now, the belly and the feet. Well, as it turns out, these two cubs, oh, they loved their parents, you know. They were, yeah, sure, they got into the, like, you know, you parents out there with kids, you know, kids are always experimenting, eh? Getting into all kinds of trouble. Well, these cubs were no different than any other normal cubs out there, kids. They got in trouble, but the parents were always there to help them through it. Always telling them stories, eh? About the good young days, the traditional days, the days that they grew up in and heard about. And these stories are so sacred because without these stories, there wouldn't be a very exciting life. You know, you think about it, eh? This is the time of storytelling. And every single person that you meet in your life, in your daytime, has a story, a life story to tell. Some of them are, you know, hard to listen to. Some of them are exciting and funny, full of energy. And then there's stories that are, you know, real deep, real, like, full of lessons and full of good medicine. Well, that's how these boys, these twins learned, eh? These twin bears, they learned through the stories of their mom. But they also learned through the example. The parents set examples, good examples, the best examples they knew how. You gotta remember, there's no there's no manual on how to be a good mama bear or a papa bear out there, eh? So there was a lot of trial and error in each of them. Well, as the story goes, these two bear cubs grew up. And Mama, she got sick. Oh my goodness. I don't know. She got an injury. And in the injury, she got an infection. And Papa Bear tried his best, you know, to find a cure. He used all his parents' medicines to fight the infection. But it didn't work. And he tried to go to all the clans to ask them for help. And the clans, they all tried different medicines, but not all one medicine's going to work on one person, you know. Everybody's unique with their history and their sicknesses, right? I'm just looking at the bear, seeing where I'm at. I think I'll start on the head here. Yeah. So, what happened next was, I think this is how you do it. Yeah, I hope so. Oh well, it's all practice here. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here and tell the story at the same time. I'm not that skilled with multitasking. That's a skill that my partner does really well, not me. Long time passed and they couldn't find a cure for Mama Bear. Oh, they tried. They really did. You know, Papa Bear tried his hardest, but she passed away. And he did his best, you know. He did his best to raise the boys. You know, they're becoming teenagers now. And, yeah, he did his best, but it wasn't enough. So, you gotta remember, he never dealt with this kind of grief before, the loss of his love, of his life. And his heart started to break apart. And when the heart breaks, something happens to the body. And something happens to the emotions. Everything seems to leak out of the body. And the spirit doesn't want to be around too much. They call that broken heart syndrome. And that's what was happening to poor Papa Bear. He was getting heart syndrome. And the boys did their best to pick up their Papa, pick up his spirits, eh? But it wasn't working. He wanted to be with the love of his life. And he tried his darnest to be with the boys. But he had gone too far with his grief. And he passed away. I know it sounds like a sad story, but it'll get better. Trust me. There's deep teachings in this story. As time went on, the boys, those two boys, they grieved. They got mad. They got sad. They got worried. They got fear. You know, they didn't know what to do. And when Papa died, Papa Bear, the boys were all alone, facing the world all by themselves. The youngest of the twins, he got real mad. Nishkadze. Panigwa. All the time he was mad. He felt anger that he never felt before. He blamed everybody. He never took responsibility for anything after that. The older of the twins, well, his story's a little different. Because what he did was he wanted to honor his parents. He wanted to really show his love. So he decided, I'm going to live with the teachings of my parents. I'm not going to be sad. I'm not going to be mad. I'm just going to go away and go find some healing and new connections, new relationships. So that's what he did. I hope you guys can see this. And so off he went. Way up in top of the mountains by himself. And he left his little brother alone. Because his little brother was just miserable to live with. He tried everything to help his little brother out, eh? But nothing happened that was good. And so that's what he did. He went on up in the mountains and he went to find new relationships. And these two brothers were separated. For the first time, they actually felt alone. Time passed. Seasons went by. And that special season of the year when all the salmon go up the river to finish their life cycle was approaching. That angry brother, he went off to that sacred spot because he didn't know any better, eh? It was like instinct to go there. A deep-rooted tradition. And as he's traveling, he saw other bears at the salmon area. And he remembered his parents fishing there and catching salmon and teaching the boys, teaching him how to fish. And he got mad because he saw everybody having a good time. But he wasn't. He was just full of pain and suffering. He never healed. He never doctored himself, never looked for counseling. He never spoke to his parents in ceremony like he was taught by his parents, you know. Instead, he attacked the other bears and wanted to bring those other bears down to his level of fear, anger, disappointment, resentment, you know, that yucky, dense energy. Well, those other bears didn't want no part of it, so they would move further up the water to catch salmon somewhere else, away from this angry bear. Damn bear was a bully. Who the heck wants to hang out with a bully? No, I sure don't. Well, as it turned out, that the other twin, the older twin, he also came down, way down the mountain. And he saw all the bears hanging out, and some of them were leaving. And he was like, no, I don't want to hang out with these bears this year. I'm going to go down to where my mom and dad used to, hang out and teach us stuff, good stuff, kid with a good talk, good, kinomage, that, good teachings. So he went way down the river, right to the mouth almost, away from everybody. And he was going through his memory banks, thinking about his parents and remembering that tree and that big rock and just reliving all those good memories. And every time he relived and made himself remember the good memories of his parents and him and his little brother, he felt medicine wake up inside of him, and he felt alive, and he felt his organs starting to feel all happy and joy. And he started getting hungry. He'd been doing this meditation of remembering for a long time. And he got hungry. So he called out to his parents. He said, hey, Miss Mama, Papa, Mukwa, Natamushin, Nabakade. Help me, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Help me, Natamo. And he sat down and he waited. And he waited, and he waited. And to his amazement, he saw a dead fish float by. It was already processed, ripped apart and waited for him. So he jumped in the water and he started eating this dead fish. And he was amazed. He was like, holy heck, my parents really do love me. They're giving me, freshly killed fish. I don't even have to kill these fish, take their lives. No, they're already prepared. Boy, am I ever blessed. What he didn't know was at the very top of the water, there was the angry brother who was all alone now. Nobody wanted to hang out with him. He was a big bully. At the top of the water, there was this ugly-looking, mean, yucky bear smashing in the water and just putting his anger, attacking the fish, killing those salmon like crazy. He was like madness, eh? He was struck with madness. Every fish that he killed would not finish its life cycle, and it would float all the way back down the water towards the big water, eh? The mouth of the water. Well, I'll tell you something. All those fish started floating right down to his brother. He didn't even know it. He didn't even know that was his brother. Nope. And finally, he got bored and tired. That mean, ugly bear got bored and tired of killing all these fish. It just seemed endless. And he was getting tired. So he decided to go down the river too by himself. And just getting even more angry. He was recycling this weird anger inside of him, making himself sick with anger and resentment, and thinking how unfair. Nobody wants to be his friend. I wonder why. Because he's a bully. Why is he alone? All these weird questions he had. Well, as it turns out, he looked at the water at the bank, and there was this big, fat, beautiful-looking bear. And he was sleeping on the spot where his parents used to teach him. And he didn't even recognize that bear. He didn't know. It was his older brother. His anger had blinded him to his history. His beautiful, rich, loving history. And time flew on. Oh boy. He was ticked to see this real beautiful bear filling up the space that was sacred to him. And he charged towards that bear, and he started splashing in the water, making all this noise. Real challenging, eh? That bear woke up and looked at this scrawny, small, real, he didn't even recognize it was his little brother. This bear was in such rough shape, real bad shape. And he goes to that bear and he says, "Hey, why are you making so much noise in this sacred place?" And that angry bear looked at him and said, "You get out of here, or else I'm going to beat you up. Don't you know who I am? I'm the big bad bear." And the big happy bear, the big jolly bear, he's looking at that ugly bear, mean bear, and he laughs. "You're a bully bear? You're so small." But he looked closer and he saw all his battle scars, and he said, "Uh-oh, maybe this guy's right. Maybe he has some experience with fighting. I don't know. But I better not intimidate him too much." "Okay, I'll leave," he says. "I'll get out of here," he says to that bear. And the angry bear was getting even more angry because he was trying to figure out, why is this bear not angry, like scared of me, eh? Why is he, I'm not triggering him. What's going on? I don't like this. So I'm going to go and attack him. And that's what he does. He goes and charges him, eh? Well, before you know it, that bear's walking away, and he gets a swipe. Big claws right across his bum. Good thing he had a big, junk in his trunk. It didn't hurt that much. And he turns around and he says, "Hey, what's the matter with you? I was leaving. Jeez. Becca Nagach. Take it easy. Settle down. Becca Nagach." That bear didn't like that, eh? He wanted him to be afraid. That mean bear wanted this other bear to be angry, like him. But it wasn't working. So, that big bear, he said, "Hey, I'm leaving. Leave me alone, okay?" Little bear said, "No, I'm going to fight you, man. You're going to fight. You're not allowed to be here. This is my territory." Well, that did it. That big bear, he's like, "I'm not a fighter, man. I'm a lover." No, just joking. But he didn't want to fight this bear. He knows there's more power in peace than there ever was in war. And nobody wins in a war. That's what he learned from his mama and papa. So he tried to get away, and that bear chased him, That bully bear chased him. So they're running around, and he's going, "Okay, I'll tire this little guy out." And he's running across the water, and he's running around the trees in the forest, running around the boulders. He's running around up and down the mountain. Can you imagine, eh? Eventually, that bully bear got tired. He got really, really tired. But his anger was his magic. That was his fuel, keeping him going. But for the big bear, it was love, compassion. It was respect. All these beautiful teachings he learned from his parents. Kindness, compassion, love, respect, kept the big bear, big jolly bear, even more powerful. And they ran around and ran around and ran around. Well, if you look up in the sky, you can still see those two bears running around in circles all over the land. If you look, you'll see the Little Dipper. We call it the Little Dipper. Some people call it the Little Bear. And if you follow the two stars at the end of the Little Dipper, it will point to the North Star. And you'll also see a Big Dipper. And the Big Dipper is the Big Bear. And the Big Bear, those two are always running around like this in the sky, like this, chasing each other. Well, the old grandma told me this, saying, she said, we have those two bears inside of us. We could either be the bully bear and self-sabotage ourselves, put down our medicine. We can harm ourselves. We can practice, be conductors of the self-harm ceremony. By doing addictions and not letting go of anger and not healing and, and that will make you the little bear. Or you can change your life, make better decisions, choose a different path. You can honor your ancestors, honor the sacred love. Can you imagine how many people had to come together just to create you? Well over the decades, well over the eons, the centuries, just to create you. That's a lot of love, I think about it. And you can honor by following those teachings, those 7 grandfathers, 13 grandmother teachings. You can honor your life and be that big, abundant, vibrant, life-filled bear. But it's your choice. That's what it comes down to, eh? Choice. That's one of our medicines, is being able to choose the direction, the kind of life we want to live. And we don't have to do it alone, you know. Nope. We're never alone in our choices. We always have the ancestors with us. We always have our teachers. Even the teachers that are good at teaching us what not to be like. You know, those are like warning signs when you meet those people. They're warning you, if you walk with me, this is what's going to happen to you. So pay attention, you know. Pay attention and make your choices, you know. Or you could be the bully bear, you know. The one who's always trying to energy vampirism on other people, using loud voice, using intimidating tactics. You know, that's a way to vampire people's energy away from them. I really hope you're not like that. I hope you choose a better path. I hope you choose a good Mishkike Mikon, you know, medicine path. One that is filled with giving, the giveaway ceremony. Oh boy, I love that ceremony, the giveaway. Like right now, I'm conducting a giveaway ceremony. I'm giving you guys a good story. Yeah. I'm telling you guys about my thinking process. I'm demonstrating to you where I'm at in my life. I haven't gotten real far with this carving. But hey, that's life, eh? Yeah. That's life. Bimadzawin, Mino Bimadzawin. So I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you like that story. I hope you like that story. About the 2 bears. When you look up in the sky, you know, those 2 bears can actually help you find your direction when you feel lost. You will find a North Star in those 2 bears. Especially at nighttime this time. If you go out right now, you'll actually find those 2 bears up in the sky. That's if you live in North America, that is. It's a little different for South America. But, yeah, you'll never get lost if you remember that story. That's what I mean, eh? This is like Anishinaabe University Kinomagaywood. You know, this is like school, learning our stories. I love sitting down with my great uncles. You know, they're the best storytellers, man. They laughed and they're so animated when they told stories. You know, and holy heck, you just couldn't help it but be magnetized into their sphere of influence. It's pretty powerful. So what I'm doing right now with this carving is I'm roughing it out, it's called. I'm just chunking it, cutting out the chunks. And I save all of my shavings for my sacred fire, my personal sacred fire. Because I believe that this wood is sacred, right? I'm working with it, I'm telling stories. I believe that this wood is absorbing that vibration I'm putting out in the creation. So that's really good. I really hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. I don't know. I can't even see the comments. I got my Facebook open here. Maybe you guys can tell me if you can see this. I see a Enza Buffa. Thank you for your love and likes. I appreciate you. 34 minutes it says on my computer. So, what do you guys think about that story, eh? I'm gonna jump ahead here and figure out how I'm gonna do the arms. So I get a pencil here, and I'm gonna draw little arms here, like that. Yeah, like that. I'm trying to do this real quick so you guys could. I'm not a professional carver yet. It's a work in progress, eh? I hope you guys can see that. Jeepers. Okay, well, like that, eh? Okay, let's do, there's my center line. So that's where the feet are going to be. I'll do a little cut in here. Push cut. A little deep, but that's okay. Ooh, I cut into his belly. And do a little tiny V notch here. Cut. I'm trying to get that piece out. I learned this technique from Mr. Linker, Doug Linker. He's on YouTube. He's quite a phenomenal Ontario carver, wood carver. So if you ever get a chance, I want you guys to check him out. Go on YouTube. Type in the search Doug Linker wood carving. Amazing channel, you know. And the guy's quite the artisan, I gotta say. He's really inspired me to keep up with this new hobby or talent or something. Find my talent. So right now I'm just doing straight cuts right into the wood, trying to keep it straight, and they're going to be stop cuts. And oh man, I gotta stay in focus here, eh guys? I'm really sorry if I get out of focus on you guys. But this live business is, I'm going to try to move this camera down a bit so you guys can see a little better. Okay, maybe that's better. So getting back to our stories, you know, our stories are so sacred. And you know what makes them sacred, right? I was told by an elder, he said, there are two paths in life you can walk. The first path is called the secret path, and the second one is called the sacred path. And I asked him, I said, what's the difference? And he said to me, he goes, well, a secret is something that you don't share. You don't share it. You keep it, you hoard it to yourself. You're like a Senegal. Senegal is a hoarder. Somebody who packs away food, you know, Senegal, that's what we call black squirrel, Senegal. And they hoard it, you know, it's a secret. But then you have those ones who are secret. And that's where you take a secret and you transform it and you share it with people. You might have something bad, you might have something good, but either way, the end result of transforming it turns it into something good. And that's what you share, your giveaway. And when you give away something that is good and beneficial, it becomes a sacred, not a secret no more. It's a sacred. Wow, I thought, that is cool, man. I like that. That old man, those old people, man, they got a way to look at things, you know. They got these eyes that I'm always trying to develop. A very special perspective. And something that I want to develop in my own life, eh? Is that, oh, look at that, I did a boo-boo. My stop cut didn't go through. Oh well. We'll work with it. Remember, this is not about being perfect, right? This is about practice, and just enjoying the process. I gotta teach myself not to be a perfectionist. Perfectionist. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where we got this mentality to be so perfect about life. But I'm just chipping away. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing, jeepers. It's really important that I share what I'm doing. I have to look every second at the camera screen. I'm trying to stay in focus here. Well, forgive me guys, I'm not very good at this video yet. I haven't mastered the art of videograph. But if you really want to see a real good teacher, I suggest Doug Linker. He's really cool. Yeah. He's a good teacher. I could do this like, yeah. So I'm just carving out the arms. And now we're going to round them off. I love working with wood because it's a very therapeutic material. The tree spirits are very therapeutic, even in this form, eh? Good medicine for the mind. Slow the mind down. Good internal journey. Alright guys, anyways, this part of the two bears from the story, this is going to be the bully bear, and this one is the happy bear. So that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to get this working. I don't know, do you guys want to hear another story? Write in the comments there and let me know if you want to hear another story. If not, I'll cancel this live chat. I'll post it and see what kind of responses I get. If they're cool, they're good, maybe we'll try this again down the road, eh? Oh, what did I do wrong here? Oh yeah, I forgot about his eyes. Okay. Cut here. Nice deep cut. There we go. And so that's called a stop cut. That's what I learned. You go like this and you just drive it down and carve in there. And that's a stop cut. So when I cut towards there, it will stop at that stop cut. And I won't get a big huge sliver. Which is a pretty good trick. Yeah. What else is going on? Did you guys have a good Christmas? That's what I'm curious about. I'm not seeing any comments in the live chat. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. I don't know. Well, maybe Grandma's here hanging out with me. I got 42 minutes on my clock. That's how long I've been yapping and yapping. Maybe I'll sing you guys a song while I do this. Yeah? I'll sing a song. What do you say? Oh, Kathy Williams. Okay, what do you got there? That would be wonderful to have story time. I just did a story. Did you get it? I can tell you another one if you want. What do you say, Kathy? You want to hear another story? Let me know in the comments. I'll make another story for you. Well, I'll relay another story, I mean. Oh, I got a funny story. You want to hear it, Kathy? Okay, here we go. This is a funny story, okay? This is one I'd love to tell to the community and my friends. Because it always reminds me, eh? It has good remembrances. Okay, this one's about Nanabush. And this is a good time because Nanabush stories are told in the winter. And it's winter. Nanabush. Nanabush is a cultural hero, but he's also a trickster. And he's very highly respected because he's the one who named all of creation. Everything in creation, he gave a name to. Well, one of his things is he's a shapeshifter too. Eh? He's not like his brothers, Majikwish, Papikwish, Chibayabush. Those are his three brothers. Those brothers are spiritual beings. They're not like Nanabush or you and me. Nanabush is a half human being and a half a spiritual being. But he has a lot of spiritual power, eh? A lot of people hear stories about Nanabush and they just laugh. And I hope that this story will make you laugh. Well, one day, Nanabush was walking around. He was in his coyote form. He was, the coyote, eh? Bakuje Maingun, the wild dog, the wild wolf. And there he is. He's walking through the bush, and he hears all this arguing. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. All this noise, eh? So he skulks his way towards there, and he opens up the reeds at the edge of the at the edge of the water, and there he sees. Oh my goodness! He couldn't believe his eyes. He sees all these mucky, so many, Batinut mucky, lots of frogs, and they're all sitting on the lily pads, and they're having a big argument. Apparently, what happened was the chief Ogama Mucky passed away. He took his journey to the spirit world. And now, the ones who were left on Earth were all fighting each other. They're all arguing about who's going to be the next chief. One is saying, I'm going to be chief because I'm the youngest. And another one says, no, you're not. You might be youngest, but I'm the strongest. And others are saying, oh, I'm the most experienced. And then you have frogs that are saying, forget it, none of you should be chief. They didn't want to be chief. They just didn't want nobody to be chief. So there was this big argument among all those mucky, those frogs, about being chief. And Nanabush, in his coyote form, he comes out of the reeds real calm and collective, eh? And he says, hey guys, how you all doing? I need to know, yeah. And all the mucky look, and they know Coyote's a troublemaker and he's a predator. Uh-oh. And they're getting ready to jump after the lily pads and swim deep in the water where it's safe. Coyote can't get them, man. And all of a sudden, Coyote's there saying, hey, relax. Back on the gosh. Yeah, take it easy. I'm not here to cause any trouble, I just I couldn't help myself. I heard about your debate going on. And I have a solution. I do. You guys want to hear my solution? And the frogs are going, I don't know about you. You're a trickster. And he said, come on. Just give me a chance. I want to be helpful. Okay, what do you got? So they all relaxed. And they listened to Coyote real carefully. Coyote said, well, if you go, off in the south direction from your pond, your home here, there's a big hill. Big hill. And if you guys make a circle around that hill, I will explain to you how you can elect a new chief. You can choose the smartest, the strongest, the most experienced, whatever. Okay? And the frogs are going, well, that gives us all a chance. Yeah, maybe we should do it. What should we do, Coyote? Well, Coyote's there going, good. He's all happy. Well, everybody leave the pond and come with me. So all the mucky, the frogs, follow behind in a line, hopping along behind Coyote. And they all make a big circle. So let's just say that's the hill here. And they all make a big circle at the base of the hill. Okay? And the frogs are waiting for his instructions. And then Coyote whistles real loud. I can't even whistle. Holy heck. Like that. I shouldn't be whistling at night. Anyway. He whistles real loud. And out comes Wagosh, his buddy. Wagosh is the crooked one with the crookedness. He has that when he pounces on food, he makes a big crooked shape on his back, and boing, he pounces his head first in the snow. That's what I was told about the Wagosh. Well, all of those mucky saw Wagosh coming out of the woods. Big bushy tail, red. And they're really scared, and they know that if they start hopping back to the pond, safety, they won't make it. And a lot of them are frozen with fear anyway. And Coyote jumps out and says, hey, everybody, relax, relax. You know, since we're at this hill, I'm going to stand over here. But I need somebody to make sure nobody's cheating on the opposite side. I can't see them. So I asked Wagush to come out and referee over on that side while I'm here. So all the mucky, whew, thank goodness. Holy mackerel. And, well, Coyote explained to the mucky, this is going to be a sacred race. A sacred race. Run up the hill. Whoever gets to the top is going to be the chief, the grand chief of all the mucky. Ogama mucky. So they're all getting ready, waiting for the signal. And Coyote barks out. And all the muckies start up the hill. And they're giving it all they got up the hill, and they're giving her. You know, old timers. They're you know, they're not going very fast, but they're crawling along, ribbit. Crawl along, ribbit. When they get about halfway, Coyote whistles at Wagush, and together something real bad happened. Coyote started to yell at the frogs. You're no good. You're weak. You're pathetic. You're stupid. You're this. You're that. Started lateral violence like you wouldn't believe. And the frogs slowed down on their ascent to the top of the hill. They heard the words, the negative affirmations, and some of them were so full of fear they froze. And others started making mistakes, and they started falling backwards. And Coyote and Wagush would both bombard them with negative talk, negative imagery about themselves. And it made them weak and weak. And Coyote would run up the hill, grab the weak ones, the frozen ones, and conk them on the head and throw them inside a barley bag, like a little bag, eh? Shkumut. And he'd do that until when the bag was nice and full, he stopped and he looked up the hill and he heard somebody yelling. It was an old grandma mucky. And she was yelling, everybody, everybody, the Coyote and Wagush, they tricked us, they tricked us. Everybody, everybody, run back to the hills. Run back to the pond, I mean, eh? Run back to the pond. Coyote's gonna kill us and eat us. Coyote was so upset he forgot his bag and he went up the hill to see who the heck made it to the top. It's impossible. Who could possibly overcome all of his lateral violence, his bullying, his gossip, his negative talk, you name it. And there on top of the hill, old grandma's sitting there enjoying the view and seeing all the frogs escape out of the bag that Coyote left behind. They're all running back to the water nice and safe. And Coyote looked at this old frog and said, hey, Grandma, no comes mucky. How did you do it? I bombarded you. I made fun of your history. I made fun of your age, your health condition. I made you afraid of your future. Everything I threw at you, and yet you did not freeze. You did not make mistakes. You made it to the top. And the old granny said, I'm sorry there, sonny boy, but you gotta speak up. I'm kind of hard of hearing, you know. Oh, stop the man, that's funny. Coyote thought, well, I'm going to leave this grandma and let her live. She won't live very long, and I'll have to try again. And so, that's how come elders are sometimes the best Ogama, the chiefs in our tribe. That's why we respect our elders. They don't pay attention to gossip. They don't pay attention to lateral violence. You know, they keep it real. Our elders. You know? Alright, I'm hitting 54 minutes on my storytelling carving session. I totally lost track of showing you what I'm doing here. Holy. So we got the big bear and we got the little bear, or the happy bear. That was the story I did earlier. I'm going to call it quits there, guys. I'm going to finish this cleanup here. I'm going to clean up this new bear up a little better. But I hope you enjoyed the 2 stories tonight. I'm really sorry about my poor recording. I hope the sound came through, and I hope that you got to see what I was doing here, you know. I hope so. Anyway, I'm going to have a look at this video and see how it worked. I don't even know. I'm going to leave you with this one thought, okay, my people? My people. I mean, my friends. My people. This is the thought. You can start off with a chunk of wood. Big chunk of wood. You know? But inside that wood, there is a happy bear. There's a happy bear inside that wood. Good medicine. There's good medicine inside this wood. And to make this beautiful medicine, it started off with a little tiny seed. A little minan. A mean. Can you imagine, eh? How much power that little seed has to create a massive tree, and all the obstacles and challenges it went through to become this beautiful tree. And then it got old, and then it got, you know, dropped branches and got disease, and that happens, you know. It's coming to the life cycle, but it doesn't give up. Humans process that wood, and then we take that wood and we find that seed inside that wood. And today, my seed is a little bear. And with that little bear came a beautiful story about 2 bears. Yeah. And with that story, now that's part of you. And I want you to share that story with your loved ones. And I want you to do your best to live with that story. Learn. Use it as therapy, as your helper. Okay? And give it life. Now, I really appreciate you all being here tonight. Whew. Wow, I can't believe it, eh? I actually talked for a whole hour. Well, I'm going to go smudge my lungs with a cigarette. I know it's a bad habit. I'm working on it. You all have a good night, eh, my friends? And thank you so much for coming out to, listen to Storytelling with Kanzee. Miigwech, Kazaganim. I love you all. Thank you. Weeba, Kawabmin, Minwa. I'll see you again soon, eh? Aha, Bamapi.